Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So Jason Kidd showing a little bit of gamesmanship today, man. Putting a wedge between Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Now, what did I say before the finals? Anybody that seen the video where I was explaining how people are trying to put a wedge between those two, they should just ignore it. Like I said before, these two guys are on max contracts, were drafted by the same team. So you're getting your max money. You don't have to go create a super team. You were organically drafted together. And we saw Tatum ascend, saw Brown ascend, and now there's a healthy conversation about who's the top guy. And that has kind of fluctuated at times, right? But no more than right now is really a legit question, even for the people that were taking Tatum, the vast majority that was taking Tatum at first. Now you're looking at Brown, and I can't ignore the departure of Marcus Smart. Seems like Brown has absorbed that, and that is what people are leaning to. And the way Brown has taken over, he hit that three against Indiana to go into overtime, and it's a lot of big moments. He's guarding Luka, so a lot of things that he's doing is highlighted in a way. And you can look back just a couple years ago when Tatum was guarding KD, people looked at him that way because of the way he was guarding Kevin Durant in that first round series. So it has fluctuated, but I always say these guys need to block out that noise. Again, they don't have to go out and make a super team. They just and honestly, their team is a super team as far as the talent collection. But I'm talking about trying to go grab a third star and not do it organically. Like Drew Holiday became available. You go out there and you get him. You know what I'm saying? Derek White became an extraordinary player just by growing up under Popovich's system and developing as a player. Kristaps Porzingis has been passed around, and ironically enough, he took it out on the Mavs in game one. We'll see how they respond in game two. But we're going to listen to what Kidd had to say, and we're going to listen to what JT had to say. Let's peep it, man.
What makes going against a guy like Jaylen so challenging?
Well, Jaylen's the best player, so just looking at what he does defensively, he picked up Luka full court. He got to the free throw line. He did everything, and that's what your best player does. Just understanding. He plays both sides, defense and offense, at a high rate, and he's been doing that the whole playoffs. I mean, when you talk about the Eastern Conference MVP, and it seems like he's continued to pick up where he left off, and so he's playing at a high rate. We just got to be a little bit more physical with him, and again, we got to keep him off the free throw line and out of the paint, because again, he was finishing at a high rate, or he was getting fouled and getting to the free throw line.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks.
When Jason Kidd was in here, he made a point to say Jaylen Brown's the Celtics' best player, which raised some eyebrows, obviously because of your status. What's your reaction to J. Kidd saying that?
No reaction. This is a team sport, right? We understand that. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have JB on our team. And we could say that for a lot of guys, right? We've all played a part in getting to where we're at. And we understand that, people try to drive a wedge in between us, and I guess it's a smart thing to do or try to do. But we've been in this position for many of years of guys trying to divide us and say that one of us should be traded or one's better than the other. So it's not our first time at the rodeo.
No reaction.
Why do you think he said that?
I don't know. I think it's a team game, and we're trying to focus on that. And everybody has their own opinions.
Last question.
What's your reaction to hearing Jason Kidd call Jaylen Brown just the best player?
Excuse me?
What's your reaction? Jason Kidd just called Jaylen Brown you guys the best player. Your conception?
Oh, bad. J. Kidd, man. I see what he's doing. Yeah, Jaylen Brown is an unbelievable player. He's an unbelievable player. And very special for us.
What a guy.
Thank you, everybody.
So it seems the Boston Celtics are picking up on the gamesmanship. You have some guys who's been around, and I think when I look at Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, I think maybe that rift that existed when they were even a little bit younger than they are now. They're still relatively young, but I think that probably existed the most 2.5 years ago, prior to the big contract extensions. See, I think now that they are locked in to the organization, I think now, I mean, okay, yeah, you could say that, but we've got the max contract, that we're seeking. So does that come up later? If someone's not making all-star teams and they're looking for that next max deal, maybe that creeps back in. But I think right now, oh yeah, don't let me gloss over this. I do think the finals MVP does play a part, because it's going to be who got the first one in this group, right? Who was able to go out there and get that finals MVP. And honestly, if Kristaps Porzingis keep playing, you got to look at him too as potentially grabbing it, grabbing that finals MVP trophy. But Jaylen Brown or Jayson Tatum, that'll be a conversation, right? If they win and Jayson Tatum doesn't get it, it'll be a big conversation. If Jaylen Brown gets it, it's going to be a big conversation. So, they just got to go out there and win the championship. I said this before, like, their games, they complement each other at this point in a way that maybe they didn't at one time. But now I think it's starting to work a little more than it did. Now, they would get to the finals and everything, and they had talent, but it seems like it was my turn, your turn. Don't seem like that as much now. Seems like the flow of the game is better. Maybe I can attribute that some to Drew Holiday being on the team, maybe, and Porzingis unlocking so much for the offense. I think those components have been key, to the merging of these two young stars. I don't think they should take the bait, though, man. I think if they win this championship, they're both going to continue to make all-star teams first, second, or third all NBA teams. So they'll continue to be eligible for the super maxes. Having a guy like Al Horford on the team, man, that's your big off. Well, he ain't come off the bench, but typically when Porzingis is healthy, he starts and everything. But they may leave it the way it is. With Horford starting and Porzingis coming off the bench, it worked game one. But I think Jason Kidd recognizes that they are overmatched in a way, right? You have young Lively, young Gafford, and those guys, but I think Boston has the experienced talent and a perfect mesh of that that's going to cause them problems. I saw Horford guard Luka Doncic and hold his position on Lively and Gafford at times. So he's so smart and cerebral and can step out and knock down the three. Porzingis can step out and knock down the three. They're bringing the bigs out away from the basket. So Jason Kidd is saying this. He's like, man, I gotta throw a monkey wrench in there some kind of way. I gotta say that this player is better than this player, or something, right? That can resonate in the locker room in a negative way, and kind of throw them off their game and have them more concerned about who gets the final MVP instead of who gets the championship trophy. So I don't know, man. What do y'all think Jason Kidd was trying to accomplish here? I think it's obvious. I think everybody see it. But again, you could say the right things, but it could seep in your mind, and your actions kind of display that, okay, what Kidd said did kind of bother him, because look at it. He took an uncharacteristic shot, or he looked this player off. And I'm thinking Jason Kidd's trying to get that to creep in, because he knows Luka and Kyrie can play great and still lose. So you want this team out of sorts a little bit. And so that's what I believe he's seeking with these comments. Seems like they're on it, but we'll see. Only time will tell, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.